Hello everyone, I'm Nirmala Devi Kandasamy from Malaysia. Today I'm going to share about miracles of technology tools in engaging learners. I have been using ICT tools in teaching English language subject for my students who are 11 and 12 years old. I train my students to learn the use of ICT tools for them to complete the task and also to be the users of ICT tools. Their understanding in using and knowing the tools are important to be competent learners in 21st century learning. Learners in 21st century need to be equipped with content knowledge and ICT knowledge to gauge in collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, and learning good values. Therefore, as a teacher, I work towards creating fun-filled learning environment during this pandemic. The schools are closed in Malaysia due to the pandemic, but it did not stop me from giving quality education virtually for my students. I managed to get connected with my students via Telegram, WhatsApp, Microsoft Teams, Flipgrid, Wakelet, Zoom, Skype, Google Classroom, and Google Meet. I will make sure my students are engaged in 21st century learning design skills, namely collaboration, skill communication, self-regulation, knowledge constructions, real-world problem solving, and the use of ICT in learning. As I said earlier that I like to engage my learners in global and local platforms in many collaborations. I'm the founder of MGMG, Meet and Greet Malaysia Global with two other co-founders. In this platform, we organize free workshops, webinars, virtual trips locally and globally for students and educators. The students and educators are able to travel virtually to get connected with many global and local educators and the students. The students have traveled virtually to many countries like India, Russia, Belarus, Vietnam, Romania, Armenia, Indonesia, the United States of America, United Kingdom, and many more other countries. Pictures of my students learning from home. Some of them are using handphones, laptops, iPads, tablets, and personal computers. The students are trying their level best to join online and offline classes based on the timetable provided by the school. The learners are facing connectivity problem or sharing the gadget with siblings. However, the drawbacks did not stop them from joining the online and offline classes. These are some of the medium of interactions and tools that I have been using frequently to engage my learners. The tools are Microsoft Forms, Sway, PowerPoint Presentation, Microsoft Word, Minecraft Education Edition, Flipgrid, Wakelet, Bunsy, and Kahoot. There are a few more other tools I'm using, but these are the frequent ones that I'm using on daily basis for my learners. The learners will join in Microsoft Teams and Skype. Assessment is another factor that is important where I assess my learners by giving projects, project-based learning, quiz questions, essay writing, comprehension questions which are objective and subjective. The tools that are helping in assessing the learners are Flipgrid, Wakelet, and Microsoft Teams assignments feature. I will be able to assess the learners' listening, speaking, reading, writing skills, and content knowledge. Assessing the students' work using the tools is so much easier for me to give marks, grades, level of achievements, and overall analysis. These are the records from Microsoft Teams where the students submit the assignments. Marking is done. Marks and grades are given to the students. Then the marks are analyzed by the system in Microsoft Excel. The process of grading the assignments is so easy with the help of Microsoft Teams. These are my students during my online classes in Microsoft Teams. These are my classes in Microsoft Teams for my students to log in to get materials, soft copy, textbook and workbook, lessons, recordings, project information, assignment submission and announcements. My students are able to log in to their classes 24/7 according to their internet connectivity and time. I always encourage them to go through the lessons recording and complete the task. However, if they are facing any difficulties in understanding the content, I will be providing them the assistance in giving them more enrichment exercises. These are some of the examples of materials that I use to engage my learners during lessons. My students' achievements are increasing gradually as I'm trying to help them to learn the language content and language skills through a variety of language-based activities and usage of ICT tools. I focus on their weaknesses to help them to overcome their problems. It is an uphill task to gauge their understanding in learning English language, but I'm trying my level best to overcome their problems in comprehending subject matters. Their achievements are measured through formative and summative assessments. They are trained to answer comprehension and writing examination-oriented format questions. On the other hand, they are assessed in listening, speaking, reading, writing, and language content through school-based assessment during daily teaching and learning sessions. The student's achievement is an ongoing process that will improve gradually through teaching and learning process based on fun-filled, meaningful lessons. The achievement is recorded and item analysis is done to track the students' weaknesses and strengths so that appropriate remedial or enrichment activities can be carried out for the students to further score better marks in their examination. Then, based on their achievement, the students are engaged in remedial and enrichment lessons to learn English language weekly after school. I encourage my students to join in global and local connections in order to think out of the box. This is an international project, We Rise Up for SDGs, that my students join and collaborate in Wakelet to support Sustainable Development Goals. So far, they have joined from Sustainable Development Goals number 1 until number 11. These are some of the projects that I've conducted with my students that were very interesting for them to collaborate in ICT tools like Wakelet, Flipgrid, Bunsey, and Kahoot. As a teacher, I want my students to learn English language, to be content creators, to be presenters, and learn the life skills. These are some of the examples of projects where my students have collaborated locally and globally to learn English language in fun, interesting, and exciting ways. The projects are weekly primary virtual class to enable the students to share ideas according to the topic given, global online classes to practice speaking related to SDG goals, KidLink Global Project to learn about SDG 14 Land Below Water, Penpal projects to practice writing, World Space Program, Human Happiness Global Project where my students collaborated in Microsoft Forms, Wakelet, and Flipgrid to complete the task for 3 months. During a Human Happiness Project, my students were able to present in global platforms a few times. One of my students' favorite is Minecraft challenges. They really love joining in Minecraft challenges. It really helped them in their critical thinking and also in writing skill. My students have improved tremendously, especially in language skills where they are engaged in many types of project-based learning, such as cooking, baking, carpentry, tree planting, and creating ebooks. These are some of my students' achievements in global and local platforms where they managed to secure places in global and local platforms in many competitions and also engagements. Every day is a different learning experience for my students. I believe in teaching the students to prepare them in getting the best grades, but I have a stand that learning is not only for academic achievements, but it is to train them to be learners who are prepared to face 21st century learning and be independent, autonomous learners. These are some of the benefits that I see in my students. For example, they are able to write reflections, messages, letters, emails, notice, speech by themselves, voice out their concerns, likes and dislikes, conduct their own meetings in Microsoft Teams and Skype, posting in social media pages with the parents guide, communication skill, collaboration skill, knowledge construction, real-world problem solving, ICT skill in learning, creative and critical thinkings have been improving tremendously. Albert Einstein said, education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. There are students who are not motivated in my classes in learning English language, but I encourage them constantly to learn English language in many exciting ways in many global and local platforms by using ICT tools. They are second language learners, so they have the fear and low self-esteem in learning English language. Therefore, in the new normal, I will definitely teach my students in face-to-face lessons, virtual platforms by adopting hybrid learning where the students will definitely get motivated and attracted to learn English language by exploring and using ICT tools like Wakelet, Flipgrid, Kahoot, Buncee, just to name a few. That's all from me. Thank you.